Kevin Carter adjusted the straps on his survival pack, scanning the dense alien jungle around him. His boots sank slightly into the moss-covered ground, the scent of damp earth and unfamiliar flowers thick in the humid air. XR-57, or Evergreen, as he'd taken to calling it, was one of those rare, untouched planets, wild, lush, and full of things that could probably kill him. He liked it. Most explorers had a crew, a mission, a purpose. Kevin, he just wanted to see the unknown, chart the land, and figure out if this place was worth settling. The solitude never bothered him before. But as he pushed past a thick wall of vines and stepped into a clearing, he realized he wasn't alone. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light. She sat there, hunched in the grass, her head lowered, as if she had collapsed from exhaustion. Her smooth blue skin shimmered under the sunlight, a stark contrast to the deep green of the jungle. Long, pale blonde hair draped over her shoulders, in waves, cascading down her back. She was dressed in what looked like a simple, ivory slip, though it was torn in places, revealing patches of smooth, toned muscle beneath. She looked ethereal, almost unreal, but the sharp rise and fall of her chest told him she was very real. And hurt. Kevin's instincts kicked in. He stepped forward cautiously, his voice low and even. "Hey!" Her head jerked up, golden eyes locking onto him. They were too large for a human's. Almost glowing, filled with a mixture of fear and something else, curiosity. She tensed, one hand clutching her side. That's when Kevin saw the dark bruise spreading along her ribs. Damn. His fingers twitched toward his belt, where his medkit was clipped. He'd patched himself up more times than he could count, but an injured alien woman was definitely new territory. He crouched down, palms open. "I'm not gonna hurt you." She didn't move. "You need help," he added. "I have supplies." She blinked slowly, studying him. Then, in halting but strangely elegant speech, she whispered, "You are not of the sky." Kevin frowned. "Sky?" She tilted her head slightly, like she was trying to place him. Then, her expression shifted, her shoulders sagged, and she let out a soft breath. Relief. "No," Kevin answered. "I'm human." Her voice cut through his. "They left me." Something about the way she said it twisted inside his chest. He didn't need to ask who they were. Kevin exhaled sharply, dragging a hand through his dark brown hair. "Left you? Not worthy." Her fingers curled into the fabric of her dress. A surge of anger burned through him. Unexpected but undeniable. Who the hell just abandoned someone like this? "Well, screw that," Kevin muttered. Before she could react, he slipped an arm beneath her legs and lifted her into his arms. She let out a startled gasp, clutching at his chest plate. "What?" "You're coming with me," he said firmly, already making his way back toward camp. "If your people were dumb enough to leave you behind, that's their loss." She stiffened in his arms, like she wasn't used to being touched. But then, slowly, she relaxed. Her golden eyes searched his face. "You are strong." Kevin smirked. "You're not so bad yourself." She didn't protest. Instead, she rested her head lightly against his shoulder, her breathing finally steadying. Kevin focused on the trail ahead, determined. He had no idea what the hell he was getting himself into. But somehow, he knew he wasn't leaving this planet alone. Kevin's camp wasn't much, just a reinforced tent, a small fire pit, and his trusty spaceship, the Valkyrie, parked in a clearing nearby. It was enough for survival, but not exactly guest-ready. Especially when the guest in question was a stunning blue-skinned woman who had just been abandoned by her own people. Still cradling her in his arms, Kevin crossed the final stretch of jungle and stepped into camp. Liara, he had learned her name during their quiet walk back, stirred slightly, lifting her head from his shoulder. Her golden eyes roamed the area, her gaze lingering on the Valkyrie's sleek silver hull, before flicking back to him. "This is your nest?" Kevin snorted. "Something like that." Carefully, he lowered her onto a makeshift cot inside his tent, grabbing his medkit from his pack. "Let me check your injuries." Liara tilted her head, studying him with that intense gaze. "You would mend me?" "Well, yeah," Kevin said, kneeling beside her. "Unless you like bruises." She blinked, then gave him a small, amused smile. "You are kind." Kevin wasn't sure about that, but he wasn't about to let her sit there in pain. He pulled out a cooling gel patch, peeling back part of her dress near her ribs only for the fabric to suddenly vanish from his fingers. His hands froze midair. Liara looked completely unbothered. Kevin's brain caught up a second later. "Did you just teleport your clothes?" She nodded like it was the most normal thing in the universe. "It is instinct." "Right." Kevin let out a breath. "That's impressive." "A little inconvenient, but impressive." "I can retrieve them," she offered. "Please do." The dress blinked back onto her body like nothing had happened. Kevin shook his head, biting back a chuckle as he applied the gel to her side. "That's a neat trick. Gonna have to be careful around you." Liara gave him a slow, mischievous smile. "Yes." He wasn't sure whether to be intrigued or concerned. Once he finished treating her wounds, Kevin handed her a protein bar from his pack. She turned it over in her hands, frowning. "It is food." "Yeah. Not the best, but it won't kill you." Liara took a careful bite, then immediately wrinkled her nose. Kevin barked out a laugh. "Not a fan?" "It tastes of rock." "Accurate." He grinned. "I'll cook something better later." Liara tilted her head, considering him. "Why do you help me, Kevin?" He exhaled, leaning back on his hands. "I dunno. Maybe because I know what it's like to be left behind." A flicker of understanding crossed her face. She got it. Silence stretched between them, but it wasn't uncomfortable. Then, out of nowhere, Liara suddenly lunged forward and latched onto him. Kevin nearly toppled over. "Whoa," she wrapped her arms around his torso, pressing her face against his chest in a surprisingly strong embrace. Kevin sat there, stunned. "Liara?" She mumbled something against his chest. "What?" Her head lifted slightly. "I will keep you." Kevin coughed. Keep me?" "Yes." She nodded, as if this were a perfectly normal conclusion. "You have claimed me. So now I claim you." Kevin blinked. "I what?" "You carried me," she explained, her tone completely serious. "You healed me. Now we are bound." Kevin ran a hand down his face. "That's not how it works." Liara just nuzzled into his chest. "Harder. It is how it works now." Kevin sighed. This was going to be interesting. Kevin wasn't sure when exactly he lost control of the situation, but by the time night fell, he was absolutely sure he had. After declaring him hers, Liara had clung to him like a very affectionate, teleporting octopus. Every time he moved, she moved with him. Like a shadow. A blue, warm, and stubborn shadow. He tried sitting by the fire. Liara immediately curled up next to him, her head resting against his shoulder. He got up to check the perimeter. She followed. Without making a sound. He